I'd like to talk with you for a few minutes about some of the changes that take place in your uterus and in the baby itself during the late part of pregnancy and during birth. So I'm going to begin by showing you a knitted uterus. The uterus is, especially at term, is the strongest muscle in the human body. And it has a lot of work to do to accomplish the birth. Now, I've taken this and put a couple of rubber bands on it to show what I'm wanting to teach you here. Your uterus does not have rubber bands on it. But the uterine muscle, when it contracts, it squeezes on the baby and will begin to change the cervix over time. And so one of the things that happens, and I think if you hone right in on the cervix, we're going to see the cervix thin out as the uterus contracts, and this will be very early in labor. Can you see the rubber band moving? And the cervix then becomes thinner and thinner, as you can see. So one of the steps that has to take place before a baby can come out is that the cervix has to thin down an awful lot from where it was when it began. Now, so part of that is the uterus contracting and pulling the inner os, the inner opening of the cervix open. Another change that takes place is hormonal. And what happens is that the cervix, which is a muscle, actually changes some of its properties as a result of hormonal changes that take place in late pregnancy. And so the cervix, which had been a strong, tough muscle, becomes soft and squishy. In fact, if you were to check your cervix, and please do not do that, it would probably feel like the tip of your nose, kind of firm and springy. But as it changes and what we call ripens, softens up, it becomes squishy like your lips. And I think it probably makes a lot of sense that a squishy cervix is more likely to open than a firm one. So those are two changes. It thins out, it ripens. And then the other thing is that for most pregnant women, at the end of their pregnancy, the cervix is pointing toward their back, as you might be able to see the way I'm holding it. But one of the things that tends to happen in late pregnancy and in labor is the cervix, with the action of the uterus, tends to pull the cervix into a central position. And that's going to be much more conducive to the baby's head pressing directly on the cervix and causing it to open. So here we are. We've got a cervix that's thinned out, it's ripe, the cervix has moved forward, and now the cervix is opening because of the actions of the uterus pulling it up. And so the uterus actually pulls the cervix open. And I'm going to have to change my rubber band a little bit to make this work a little better. But what we'll see, and you don't have a rubber band in your uterus, what we see is the cervix is pulled open by the contractions of the uterus. This is called dilation, opening. And oh my golly, there's the baby's head. Now, don't make a mistake. Don't think that this means that the baby's halfway out here. The baby is now in the vaginal canal and then still has the journey of the vagina to move down. So the contractions of the uterus are pushing this baby down. So these are the changes that take place in the cervix before that baby can be born. And we call these the 6 ways to progress. The cervix moves forward, it ripens, it thins out, it dilates. And then the other steps are, I'll show you what the baby does when the head now is in the birth canal.